go for the brotherhood. We're going to make plays. We're going to play hard. We're going to do what we got to do. O-line, D-line, toughness, 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 toughness.
Hey, Buckeye Nation. Welcome to the Buckeye Cast, your only commercial-free Ohio State football podcast. These guys were born and bred in the Buckeye State, and they like to talk Buckeye football and drink bourbon. Subscribe and leave a review wherever you get your podcast. Now, pour a drink and pull up a stool. Here's your host, Joe Warwick.
All right, what is up? We are back. I got Shawn here. Jeff is MIA. Apparently, he's only 20 miles away from me, but still inaccessible. So, folks, like the man said, please find the show. Help others find it by reviewing it and rating it. You don't even have to. You don't have to do the review part. I think that's fucking stupid, anyways. Just rate it. Give it 3, 4, 5, 10 stars, whatever you can. So we do have a T-shirt giveaway coming up next week. You got to follow me on social media: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Get in there, because who doesn't love a free T-shirt, right, Shawn?
I love T-shirts. They're my favorite.
Especially when they're free, right?
Comfortable. And I feel comfortable in them. They give me confidence.
Are you a tri-blend T-shirt guy?
I love the tri-blend. It's so,
Who came up with that? What an invention.
It's so soft on my skin.
Yep.
I've got old man skin now. I like it.
Yeah, exactly. And you need the softness. Otherwise, you'll chafe. So we have free shipping going on at the store right now, but we are going to do a T-shirt giveaway over the next 3 weeks, starting, what's today? Sunday. We're going to do it starting next Sunday, and you can pick any shirt on the site. So get to thebuckeyecast.com, find yourself a shirt, follow me on social media. All the links are there to follow me, and we will bang out some shirts. Girls and guys. We're equal opportunity offenders here. Shawn, any bourbon excitement this week?
I had no bourbon excitement. I'm on to in the same thread, I guess. Right now, I am fully immersed in pumpkin ales. So I've been washing through a few different flavors of that. Local brewery, Griffin Claw, their Screaming Pumpkin Ale. It's sitting in front of me now. It's pretty delicious. I preceded that with, I believe it is a Trader Joe's brand, but that was another pumpkin ale I just had. And, 'tis the season. I just finished up kind of my Oktoberfest. I'm still dabbling in the Oktoberfest a bit, but moving on to the pumpkins right now.
Yeah, so you're a seasonal guy. I like it.
I am.
But you've always been a big, what's the Boston company?
Sam Adams.
Sam Adams. Yeah, you've always been a big Sam Adams guy. That's right.
They actually have a nice Oktoberfest, and I recently enjoyed that.
Oh, nice. So I went to pick up some to-go food the other night. And, of course, you have to pick it up at the bar, right? And guess what I had? They're like, oh, I see a 10-year pappy up there. I see a 12-year pappy. And I'm like, what are we charging for these, gentlemen? And they're like, 50 and 60 for the 10 and the 12. I'm like, yeah, all right. I'm only here for like less than 5 minutes, so what are we doing for the Blantons? So I got a $19 shot of Blantons, nice and neat, obviously, and took my time, sipped on that while the old lady was waiting in the car, and enjoyed that. This little restaurant is a hole-in-the-wall kind of place. And
they stack.
Yeah,
nice, it sounds like.
And I tell you, they only got like 6 bottles of bourbon, so half of them were high end. They were out of. They sometimes have Eagle, sometimes have Buffalo. They had something else that I don't care for, but anyway. So yeah, I did a nice little sipping of a Blanton's there while they were taking their good time to cash me out. Other than that. Mm-hmm.
That's the rub. They get you to the bar.
Yep.
Get your food. That's the rub.
Yeah, you're not going to the kitchen to pick it up. There's no alcohol there. So, and I almost killed a bottle of Wood. I did kill a bottle of Woodford, one of my favorites. My vanilla taste is coming back, which is a bonus. And
congratulations.
Thank you very much. And killed a bottle of Buffalo this week. So yeah, we're clearing out the bar of the riffraff, and gonna head over to ABC. Hopefully, get some Weller on Thursday, and I've got a nice stockpile going. I may have to start selling that shit online. Anyway, Buckeyes roll this week. Obviously, Maryland came to town and didn't enjoy their stay. 66-17. Shawn, what was your one big thing?
Oh, gosh. The one big thing, I would say the one big thing for me is, I guess it's a big thing, but to try and narrow it down just a smidge would be the receiving core. Mm-hmm. And what these guys, Wilson, Olave, Smith-Njigba, just otherworldly right now. And I don't know, maybe it's Maryland sucks, maybe Rutgers sucks, but I mean, these guys are just, damn. I mean, they're so smooth. They're all so fucking good. I mean, and they take punishment. Olave takes a ton of punishment. That dude is tough as freaking nails, man.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, week after week, I see him getting hammered in this, and I just, what those guys do, and man, how refreshing that must be for a quarterback.
Yeah.
That those guys are out there. Is, to me, that receiving core, hats off, boys.
Nice. Yeah, I agree.
I mean, seriously, do you think? I think there's a case to be made, and obviously Smith-Njigba is not ready yet, or is not allowed yet. I think he's ready, but am I just like totally scarlet glasses? I think these are all first round talents. All 3 of those guys.
Oh yeah, definitely. I can't argue with that. I mean, really, if you want to compare stats on the season, we're already through 6 games. Garrett has 546. Olave has 494, and Jackson is very, very close with a 452 yards total. And these guys are just lighting up the board. I mean, I don't know. I think Jackson just gets overlooked because of his name. He's not an Olave or a Garrett Wilson yet, you know.
Well, and to me, we knew coming in that Wilson and Olave were just world class, and they were going to be absolute studs. Mm-hmm. Smith-Njigba, flashed a little bit last year, had that amazing catch and whatnot. Right. But everyone, I mean, we were high on him, and I think that he's been building rapport. To me, Smith-Njigba gets better every game. Olave and Wilson, they're already there, but Smith-Njigba, and frankly, he can be as good or better than both those guys. I mean, it's just ridiculous.
Yep. Yeah, next year is going to be his fucking big breakout. This is my time.
And I mean, and on that, I mean, I got a serious man crush going with Emeka Egbuka. This dude, look at his body as a true freshman. I mean, that dude is yoked.
I love looking at his body.
He's a grown man.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's just, I don't know, what a nice spot to be in. And, thank you, Brian Hartline, first and foremost, for being a great coach and a young coach and an inspiring coach and a guy that knows how to play in that league. And, I mean, if I'm a top-rated receiver in this country, I'm going to be talking to Brian Hartline. I might go other places because it's hard to get in there. But I need to talk to Brian Hartline.
Right.
Period.
Yep. Yeah. My big thing for the game, and I'll quickly read this off. We don't have to spend a lot of time talking about it, but is the drive chart for the Buckeyes. So basically, it goes like this for the game. I'll go fast. Touchdown, 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 end of half. Touchdown, 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 field goal, turnover on downs on fourth down, and then interception for a touchdown. So, the punter had a day off. Unplanned, but very obvious.
I didn't even know. 0 punts, huh?
Exactly. Yeah.
Fucking Trestle's pissed.
Yeah, right. He's like, where is Broom? Get Broom out there.
Right.
Buckeyes are huge. Another stat for me that's big. That was my one big thing was the drive chart of no punts. But going forward, third downs, we were 7 of 11. Fourth downs, 2 of 3. That's huge. You got to convert at a high percentage if you're going to be successful. And again, CJ was decisive and accurate. Another week of and he even put up more yards this week, 406, 5 touchdowns. I'm guessing he's going to get Freshman of the Week again in the Big Ten.
Unless TreVeyon does.
Yeah. And I want to thank and I want to say hello to Coach Day. Appreciate you listening. Obviously, he heard last week's show where I took him to task for shutting down the Heisman campaign for TreVeyon. Maybe he's trying to balance a CJ/TreVeyon Heisman campaign. What do you think, Shawn?
Yeah, it'd be nice if they could split it. Give it to a quarterback and his running back, actually, and the receiver. It'd be nice to have all 5 of those guys split it. Fuck it, the whole offense. Throw the O-line in there too. Give everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody, you get a car. You get a car.
There you
everybody. It's. I was a little concerned at first. TreVeyon was kind of getting stuffed there first few carries. And
obviously, they were focused on stopping the run.
It was like he was like 4 carries into the game, and his yards per carry already dropped a yard.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh shit, because it's so out of control high.
Right.
But he obviously made up for that. And the kid runs. I mean, man, the kid runs hard. He's fast. He runs hard. He's got all the moves. He's got everything. Mm-hmm. And he's not. He was taking some hard hits in that game, and he gets back up and he's like, all right, we'll go again. To me, he doesn't play like a freshman. I mean, I've seen some flashes from freshmen, but it's always just like sheer athletic ability, not necessarily the game knowledge and the toughness. And this kid to me is special. And I guess that's why he's the number 1 kid in the country, because it ain't just about the speed and the flash. It's the total package. And I think this kid has it. I haven't really watched as much or focused as much on his pass pro, but obviously they got to be pretty comfortable with him in there because he's, early in the season he wasn't in there all the time, but now he certainly is.
Yeah, he went from 8 touches last week to 20 this week total in running and receiving. So I think Ryan Day heard our message as I implored that he get our guy some numbers. And I think he did that. 16 rushes for 102 and 2 touchdowns. And then receiving, TreVeyon goes for 4 and 67 and a touchdown with the long one. So, let's keep TreVeyon and CJ in our Heisman thoughts.
Can we get some love? If could, it happened last year with Devonta, say his name. Could an Olave or a Wilson get in the conversation?
They're going to have to put up some serious numbers. I guess I would lean towards Garrett. Kind of. Well, I don't know. Olave just had 120 yards and 2 touchdowns. He had that crazy 4th down catch in the end zone where the dude tipped it off his forearm.
Oh man,
That was nuts.
He had the great catch on the sideline over there and got that foot in. It's just, man, these guys.
But then Garrett goes for 5 catches for 84 yards and 2 touchdowns. And Jackson, puts up 103 yards. So, spreading the wealth. I'm not sure you could pick a guy out of that trio, without splitting votes heavily.
Right.
So, we do have to talk about, Teague got in there for 31 yards in the score. Crowley came in late, 7 carries for 26. Mayan Williams has been the speculation all over the Twitterverse. One sec.
So what's the Twitterverse say?
They're speculating that he's a transfer possibility because he wasn't even at the game today. He tweeted before the game that he would be back soon. He tweeted "Go Bucks," but other players that were injured were on the sidelines, like Tyreek Smith. He was dressed in the first half, then in street clothes in the second half. And it's like, okay, what's going on here? Because if a dude's not even on the sideline, injured or not, and he was your starting running back just 4 weeks ago, something might be happening there. So I'm going to keep an eye out on that one. Kind of concerned.
So he wasn't even on the field, huh? Not in street clothes, not in nothing.
Right.
Not in the stadium.
Right. I haven't found anybody who saw him in person.
That kind of sucks. I mean, I was really hoping that Mayan was our number 2, but Mayan's a young guy, and Mayan sees what's in front of him, and Mayan knows that this year, next year, and the year after that, he's not starting unless TreVeyon Henderson gets hurt,
right.
And then you can bet your bottom dollar that Day's going for top running backs in the world the next 2 years to replace Henderson.
Don't forget about Pryor.
I know Pryor's solid, and frankly, Crowley's running hard, man.
Yep, and he's got those hands out of the backfield.
And they're lucky my boy Steele switched over and is just wrecking people on defense.
Yeah. Yeah, he was smart to make that change. He led the team in tackles with 7. He had TFL. Cody Simon came in with 7. Eichenberg was 7.5 of a TFL. Ronnie Hickman, of course, this is a huge Ronnie Hickman podcast. Can't find anybody else that can get behind him more than we have. We've been promoting.
It starts out, I'm like, does Ronnie make every tackle?
Right, yeah.
Ronnie Hickman.
Yeah, if you don't see him in the picture, you're like, what happened? Did somebody shoot him? But, defense really had a great game. Put that girl Talia on his ass. JT and Jack Sawyer both had sacks. Nice to see the young guys get some action. Ryan Watts with the pick. Craig Young with the pick 6 for 70 yards, by the way. And I wanted to just kind of throw a stick out there in between his legs and just trip him up because I had the under 80. I was live betting under 81 at one point, and I went a little heavy on that. Didn't work out. So defense held Maryland to 335 yards. That's saying something, man.
I was concerned to start that game. Rutgers got the ball and they basically marched down. We got fucked on the one call. What was that roughing the passer? What are you kidding me with that?
Right.
And then Stroud gets completely smashed the next series and nothing. They swallow the whistles. Mm-hmm. So that was BS. But man, I don't know. I hate when we give up points on that first drive, especially to a team like Maryland. 3 points. That was gifted to them by the stripes, I feel.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, overall, I think we did a fine job on D. And, they're going to get their second half. They let, what's his name, get loose on one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but for the most part, I mean...
Rockin', but I mean, he was shut down. That was his one catch. Looking at the card, that Rockin' Jarrett...
He only had like 3 targets.
And 1 catch, 43 yards, touchdown.
Yeah. So, yeah, defense, I feel, played one of their better games all around. And it's also on offense. It's good to see we got Kyle and Jack in there for a little action. It's kind of shit that you need to get them reps. And everybody on defense, though, contributed. I mean, Javonte Jean-Baptiste had a half sack. I mean...
He was around.
Yeah.
Jean-Baptiste had a nice game.
Zach Harrison was in the backfield all day. Didn't get the stats. He might have gotten a TFL or something, but he was pressuring Talia all day long, and just didn't get home quite. I mean, that's the difference, I guess, in a good day and a great day. But really impressed with Zach Harrison. He was everywhere, dropping in some zone blitz kind of coverages and shit. So happy with him. Like you mentioned, Emeka Egbuka went 4 kickoff returns for 166 yards. That's a 41.5 yard average. Wow, we'll take that every time. Went 67 yards on his longest. He's on the cusp of cracking one, right?
I think so. And did I hear the stat? When was the last time that we've had a return kick?
Oh my God, it's like close to 20 years.
Is it 20 or 10? I thought it was like 2010 or 11 or something.
Yeah, might be.
But and I think that might be punt and kickoff. Yeah,
that might be. That makes sense. Regardless, it's been way too long, and
with the amount of athletes we have, I feel way too long.
Yeah. Where's Ray Small when you need him?
Where's Teddy Ginn?
Yeah, I'll take that. Saw him return one in Minnesota in the dome, like 102 yards. So, final score-wise, I think I was the closest to nailing it. I went 59-13. Shawn, you had 52-10. Jeff had 52-17, so he nailed the Terps score, but I had the higher Ohio State score. I'm going to go ahead and take the dub on that, if you don't mind.
Well, I feel like I gypped on that just a bit. What are we scoring? Up that much. What are we scoring those last 10 points for?
Right. I agree. That would have helped out my my under bet heavily. I would have.
No, and you know what? With the loss changes things, I feel. And it's like a loss, so you're not guaranteed anything at this point. And so we're going to need to recalculate. Having a loss, I feel like we need to be more impressive. If you don't have a loss, you don't need to impress anybody. You just need to keep winning. Mm-hmm. But if you have a loss, there's going to be a bunch of other guys that have a loss. Mm-hmm. It's like, why are you better than them? And I think you got to put it on the tape and show why you're better than them. So
style points.
I'm all for cranking it up every week now, and not to say I want to keep my starters in there the whole game, but I want to keep the aggressive game plan in the whole time. I want McCorn, I want Miller to get some reps. I want them to get some passes.
Mm-hmm. And that second team offense should be able to put up points against Maryland's first team defense and comparable defenses, right?
I would think at least have a competitive game and like, hey, look, you're in a fist fight now, and go out there and we're not going to hold back and just, we're not going to handcuff you guys where, they got 9 in the box because they know we're running off tackle.
Right.
Every play. that to me, that's not even fair for the guys that are out there. It's like, fuck, give me a chance to do something, coach.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Yeah, I agree. Let's not dial back the play calling just because we're working with second teamers and we're up by 50.
No, the only thing I probably wouldn't do is run no huddle and run super speed. But I probably would do that for a little bit. Again, Kyle McCord and Jack Miller need to know how to fucking run that offense, and they've never done it. Yeah. And so if something happens to CJ Stroud, I mean, how are you going to teach him that on the fly? It's a liability, and I think you have to plan for everything, every contingency.
I agree. You need your backups to have game reps. They need to be in the live fire to know what it's like. This ain't fucking practice with your black shirt on.
Well, and it's different with some positions. I think if you're a linebacker, if you're a D lineman, even if you're an O lineman, to some degree, even that's tough. But it's like, okay, next man up. Well, coach, you got to give me a reasonable chance to succeed when it's next man up. And you're asking me to go in here against a Penn State or something late in the third quarter, and we're down 10 points, and you want me to run no huddle? I've never done it.
Right. Yeah, and the in-game live bullets is the difference.
It's so different. I mean, I don't give a shit how hard they practice. Yeah. It's so different.
Yeah. So, all right. With that note, you're kind of leading right into the Penn State-Iowa game, in that somebody suffered a very significant injury, and it cost them the game, in my opinion. Penn State, Sean Clifford goes down. They lose 23-20 late.
Oh. What do you mean by significant? Significant for that game, or significant? The injury significant? Because I haven't followed up on that. Which is Sean Clifford in big trouble for the rest of the year? Or what's going on with him?
You know how these fucking schools are now. They don't tell us shit. It's a rib / I would call it rib injury.
Rib / Achilles, somewhere between there.
Let's go upper, lower, maybe groin, I don't know.
Somewhere among the head, neck, chest, breast.
Yeah. He does have bruising across his head, neck, and chest. So, Franklin, obviously, after the game was fucking hush-hush, not saying shit, of course. And I saw it coming. I fucking jumped all over that live betting. Got Iowa at plus 150 on the money line. So they come back after being down 14-3, 17-3 at one point maybe. And Petterass leads them back. That defense, I know you see, there's a thing here. Iowa, I don't know if they have like special sticky gloves or if they're using Stickum, which I thought was outlawed. These guys will pick your ass off. And it's
only a leg on if they catch you.
Exactly. But I think it's just bad throws. I mean, picking off Talia for 6 interceptions is not a great accomplishment.
No, Talia only threw 5 to back up through the last one.
My bad. Sorry. Thank you. So Clifford, though, he got picked before he even got knocked out of the goddamn game. I'm like, what are you guys doing?
Well, he's a gun. Clifford's a gunslinger. He's going to get picked.
Right.
But I think that's the way Iowa's defense is set up, and I think those guys back there are good. They're ball hawks for sure, obviously with the amount of. But I think the exotic stunts and blitzes from linebacker put quarterbacks in a weird spot, and I don't know. I don't know if the black and yellow helmets, they make weird throws, man.
Yeah. Maybe it's the pressure. I don't know. Something makes people do stupid shit against them. I can't picture us throwing 2, much less 6 interceptions against these clowns. And I sure as shit know they're not going to put up 30 points, this offense from Iowa.
Oh, their offense is like it's not even in the top 100. I don't believe.
Yeah, they only ran for 110 total. They threw for 195.
And that's probably their season high.
You know who they are? They're the Indiana of last year with these interceptions.
I feel like they're more the Wisconsin. They're the new Wisconsin. They play good fucking D, slow game, run the ball. Worst game in the world to watch. Yeah. Unless you're a fan of D, which I am, but it's good sound football. Nothing wows you, but it's just like assignment fundamental football. Yeah. I mean, I guess if you're a coach, what's not to like about that? But I need a little sizzle.
Yeah, you like some sizzle on that steak, don't you?
I do.
This Penn State team does not intimidate me whatsoever. I don't care if Clifford's starting, and that Roberson guy that came in for him is even worse. Oh, my God. Yikes.
Well, I'm not scared of Penn State. I'm not really scared of anybody in the Big Ten. But I would actually say I feel, with Sean Clifford, I still feel Penn State's probably the second best team in the Big Ten.
Oh, for sure, yeah. I think they're better than Iowa. I think if Sean Clifford plays that entire game, which we saw in the first half, it's not a blowout because Iowa was eventually going to come back and make it tighter. But I think that's a Penn State win.
I think so.
With Clifford. So, what about Michigan, Nebraska? Michigan barely escapes getting out of Lincoln, which not many people can say. That was a close one.
That was super close, and Michigan's sliding by, and being up here, and on certain message boards, they still, I don't know, they're getting a bit big for their britches. And, coming into this season, I think on one of our podcasts, we talked about, Michigan's just got a death schedule. Well, that's all, hey, we're looking at it kind of through a historical lens. Hey, this is probably what it's going to come out to be. But as it turns out, Michigan hasn't fucking beaten anybody. I mean, I still actually, Michigan's biggest win is at Wisconsin. Yep. 1-3 Wisconsin.
Yep.
And just because that's a tough place to play, I don't think Wisconsin's very good. But that's still, it's a tough venue. And, Wisconsin is probably a middling Big Ten team at best. They're about to play, they'll play a ton of more teams. I don't think that are going to be tough. They're going to play at Penn State, and they're going to play Ohio State. Mm-hmm. And I think they're going to get exposed. The Michigan's, I'm not really sold on Sparty either, and you're probably going to talk about that one next as well.
Sure.
But, it's setting up to be maybe a great, I'd love to see that undefeated matchup coming up here in a few weeks, end of the month. But both of them look pretty good. The fan bases up here are super fucking jacked. Because the expectations for both those teams were shit. And even among their fan bases, and now they're like, oh shit, they're 6 now? Right. So of course they're giddy about it. But I don't know. I think they're in for a rude awakening. Mm-hmm. Both of them. Not a rude awakening again. I think they've already, eclipsed what I thought they would do this season. Mm-hmm. I could see them both, coming out of here going, 9-3, something like that. Which I thought Sparty was like a 4-8 team, and I thought Michigan was about a 6-6 team. So that's positive. I don't know. The question, I think the big question around Michigan is everyone knows they're not a championship caliber team.
No.
They're just not.
They can't throw the ball.
What? So Harbaugh's 6-0 now. The hype up here is, and I love this hype. There's always Michigan hype early, and then they get scratches. It doesn't really help me when they start out, oh, we suck, we're not any good anymore. Now they think they're good again, and now I got to watch them fucking get hammered down that fucking hill when they punch them in the mouth.
They got a September Heisman and everything.
Yeah. and kind of same with Sparty. Again, they're a little big for their britches. I think they got that running back, and I like Sparty's quarterback, but there'll be some interesting football coming up. I feel like everybody in the Big Ten, especially the Big Ten East. What did I see? 4 Big Ten East teams are in the top 10.
Yeah.
You're gonna tell me that's not the fucking toughest
And
of football?
they all face each other in the next 7 weeks.
Yeah, none of them have played each other yet.
Yeah.
That's the beauty of it.
Yeah. November is for what's it called? Tressel had that saying. September's for pretenders, and November's for winners or champions.
Contenders.
Yeah. So, yeah, that game was awesome. I actually enjoyed watching the Penn State-Iowa game, especially once Clifford went down. Because it didn't look like, when he got sacked, it didn't look like a fucking nail breaker. I mean, like a, death blow. It was, he got sacked. Fucking went down on his side. I mean, quarterbacks do it every day. And he was just out the rest of the game. I'm like, well, this is a big difference. Let's go ahead and start looking at the live bet. But Michigan, again, I mean, Nebraska had that shit, and then they are the new Clemsoning. Nebraska is now Nebraska-ing. They find a way to fuck it up late.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah, it's uncanny.
It's like, just gifted Harbaugh that shit. And I love it. Michigan's like, oh, what a tough, gritty win.
Okay. That Scott Frost just can't read.
And damn, I just wish when that Dax Hill, that All-American safety that they got, that they think's, the greatest thing since Rod Woodson,
right.
What fucking trash. Michigan, they're better than us and everything. They're better people, they're better at life, they're better than us. They got the biggest fucking scum program and fan base for that matter, among any. Trying to untie Dobbins' shoes. And,
there you go.
And then Dax Hill stands over it.
Yeah.
Stands over that dude and gets a fucking taunting penalty.
Right.
It's just so trashy, man.
Yeah.
It's like you're supposed to be a dude.
Act like you've been there before.
But and that being said, they haven't been there before. So,
well, it's been decades. I mean, these players haven't been there before, but act like you've been part of a program who has been there before, please.
Show some class. I mean,
they were supposed to be the class of the conference for decades, and that's why they were always in.
They do things the right way, the Michigan way, right?
Of course, Michigan men.
Yeah.
Fucking cocksuckers.
Not for
surprised. Me. Yeah. One last game I wanted to touch on. Well, 2 actually, quickly. Bama loses to Texas A&M.
I watched 0 of that game, but I saw the results.
I watched all the second half. It was nuts. Bama was down 14. They fucking block a punt for a touchdown late and then drive down and do Bama things, score quickly and take the lead by 7. And then fucking Texas A&M, this Calzados guy comes out of the fucking injury tent and leads Texas A&M to a touchdown drive. Then they get another field goal, and it was nuts. I did not see Bama losing that game the way it did. They lost late, and their D-line, our Buckeye D-line will fucking crush that Bama. Our Buckeye O-line will crush that Bama D-line. That Bama D-line is soft as fuck. And their front 7, for that matter. We will roll through them.
I don't like saying things
Set me up.
nasty about Alabama. I just don't. To me,
they look soft.
Bama has hiccup. Yeah, but you know what? Go back to Purdue and go back to Iowa games where Ohio State, we know, had one of the top teams in the country and just fucking gets bullied, gets fucking beaten up by a bunch of lesser dudes that just want it more. And Bama faces the same thing we do. Every week it's someone's Super Bowl. Hey, Bama's here.
Right.
Ohio State's here. It's the same thing. You're getting everybody's best. And I mean, they just that busted their 19-game win streak.
Mm-hmm.
You can't win them all. A&M's a decent team. Jimbo probably got himself a 5-year extension after that fucking deal.
He needed another one.
But I'm glad to see it. That doesn't suck for us.
Who knew? Jimbo Fisher, the hillbilly fortune teller, he called it in the off season.
And I still think it's going to be Georgia and Bama in that SEC championship game.
Right.
And now, if Georgia can win that one, Bama, you're out.
Oh, yeah. 2 losses. I don't know. That's going to be a tough one. Yeah, I agree, though. Did you see any of the Oklahoma-Texas game?
Very little, and I saw, and I'm like, okay, Texas has this, all right, Oklahoma's going down, and then the next thing I see, it's 48-48, tied up going into overtime. I'm like, what in the fuck?
That was
48 to 48?
It's a wilder game every year, it seems like. That game just gets crazier and crazier.
But the most interesting thing to me, I don't know if it's about that game or about Oklahoma in general, the Heisman favorite is shit.
Yeah.
I mean, Spencer Rattler is garbage, man. I mean, that guy's not good.
No.
I don't know why he was good last year, but he's not good.
No.
And I mean, the Heisman favorite, I mean, he was leaps and bounds ahead of everybody. I mean, he's everyone's pick, right? I don't think he's even going to keep his job on his own team.
Yeah.
If what's his name, Lincoln, if Lincoln has the stones of like a Saban,
Rattler's done. That Caleb Williams, I mean, the fans in Oklahoma last week were chanting his name when Rattler was out there stinking up the joint. So I think this is the end of the Spencer Rattler era. He's definitely not a Heisman candidate anymore. He's just
what year is he?
He might be efficient, I guess,
if
you want to give him any kind of props, but he's not a big play guy. And that Caleb Williams had like, what, a 65-yarder, a yard run for a touchdown. He's a big play guy.
What year is Spencer Rattler?
Spencer Rattler is a sophomore, so I don't know if that includes last year's, COVID year. Freebie. Yeah.
So he's out. He's gonna. I mean, to me, that's gonna be the next conversation. Where's Spencer Rattler transferring?
That's a great point. That's a great point because he could easily go anywhere in the country. I mean.
Oh yeah. I mean, and he'll go to a contender. A Clemson. I don't know. Where else? A Cincinnati next year.
Yeah.
Of course, if Pickle's gone, I don't know. I like that Ritter. That's the kid I like.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So our top 4 CFP playoff guys, who do you have?
It's such a loaded question. I personally think that they have it right with the way things are right now. I'm so sketchy on how, but I actually think the way it sits right now, probably only 1 and maybe 2 of those teams are college football playoff teams. But if the season ended today, I would say I'd probably take those 4 just on what they've done.
What poll are you going by?
Oh, I thought they were both the same, at least the top 4. So Georgia, Iowa, Cincinnati, Oklahoma.
Oh,
that's basically what.
You kicked Bama out of the top 4?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
But I don't think that, again, that's if you had the playoffs today.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's going to stand that way. I got Bama in my college football playoff.
Yeah, I get it.
And I've got Iowa out. I've got Oklahoma out when it comes that time. I don't think Oklahoma, with the way they've been playing, and now you got a quarterback controvery. That locker room's going to be weird as fuck. I don't love Oklahoma.
I'm going Georgia, Bama, Iowa, Cincy, with the Buckeyes very close at a 4.5, 5 kind of slot. So Iowa.
Again, this is based on how it should be right now.
Yeah. It's what have we seen thus far?
Right now, you know my 4 best teams in the country are Georgia, Alabama, Ohio State, and maybe Iowa. I don't love their offense. Cincinnati.
But then you also have to factor in
Cincinnati are my 4 best teams.
Then you also have to factor in a healthy Clifford at Penn State because they fucking rolled to this point.
Agreed.
It's fucking tough. Yeah, not a lot of great games coming up this weekend. You got Sparty at Indiana, Kentucky, Georgia, TCU, OU. I could see OU folding to that one. They like to fold after a big game.
That should be a layup, kind of though. I'm kind of looking forward to Kentucky getting put in their place. I hate to see Kentucky up there in the rankings. So I'm expecting Georgia to shut that down.
Probably.
That's probably the best game of the week. I thought there was another decent one.
Sparty, Indy, UCF, Cincinnati.
I think it's the Oklahoma, or is it Texas? And who's Texas got this week?
Oh, shit.
Oklahoma State, maybe?
Yeah, probably.
But, yeah, nothing's too exciting out there.
No, a lot of good teams are off, obviously, like us. So, yeah, like I mentioned earlier, 4 of the top 10 teams are from the Big Ten East. Then you also, in that top 10, include Iowa. So, all in all, the Big Ten has 5 teams in the top 10 if you're going by, like, the AP poll and shit like that. It's going to be a while till we get the CFP rankings coming out, which matter the most.
This is a little bit like the SEC type of stuff right now, frankly, for the Big Ten. Mm-hmm. And it's not going to end up with 5 of us in the top 10 because there's now, like you said, none of us have played each other in the East.
Exactly.
So now we're going to start to cannibalize.
Yep.
And those other teams also could get punched in the mouth by someone they don't expect. A la Nebraska almost did that.
Yep.
And, sleep on Indiana, Michigan State, and Indiana will beat you. I know they're shit this year, but sleep on a team like that and they get hyped up and you're at their house and it can be problems.
Yeah, especially if Penn comes back for Indiana and, you never know. If they shut down that Michigan State running game once, it could be a problem. So I'm not sure they have the alternatives,
Well, they do, but to me, Michigan State, they got like that, was it Naylor and Reed? It's like they hit those guys for huge plays.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I don't feel like they can. Their running back's obviously good. I like that kid, and I like their quarterback. But I don't know if they got the horses and can just march down the field in chunks and chunks. I feel like they need that big home run, and they haven't faced athletes that can stop that home run now.
Right. Yeah. All right. Well, yeah, kind of a quiet week. Good week to go out and get your honey-do list done, maybe, with the Buckeyes off, and nobody really TV-worthy, in my opinion, coming up. But we get ready for the second half of the season. First half is over. We're 6 games in.
That's the other thing. I do like I like the timing of it. A halfway break, okay. We're halfway through, exact midway point, reassess, and all right, home stretch here. 6 more to go.
Yep.
1 game at a time.
Yep, exactly. And yeah, it's a good time to get healthy if anybody's dinged up, and really put the pedal to the metal here in the last 6 weeks and work our way into the championship games. So, all right. Good show, Shawn. As always, folks, hit the site, thebuckeyecast.com, and keep an eye out for that T-shirt giveaway coming up next week. Follow me on all social media. And
quick question on that T-shirt giveaway.
Do that.
Can I win?
No, you can't win. Sorry. If you need a shirt, just tell me what shirt you want and I'll send it to you. You have to be in the contest and ruin it for everybody.
Yeah, no, that was a joke.
I know. All right. All right. As always, folks, we appreciate you listening. Thank you. And we will talk to you next week. Go Buck.